Anthony Geary spent nearly 4 decades portraying one of television's most memorable figures, yet the man himself often felt like a quiet presence standing just outside the frame. To millions of viewers of General Hospital, he was Luke Spencer, bold, unpredictable, and emotionally layered. But beyond the screen, Geary maintained a careful distance from the attention that came with such fame. His journey is compelling not because of spectacle, but because of restraint. While audiences embraced the drama and intensity of his character, Geary chose a different rhythm for his own life, one rooted in privacy and reflection. That contrast created a subtle tension, a man celebrated for visibility who personally preferred quiet anonymity. It is this balance between public admiration and private preservation that defines his story. He gave his audience unforgettable moments, yet never allowed the world full access to who he was. In an industry built on exposure, his instinct to protect his inner life feels both rare and deliberate. Humble beginnings in Utah. Born in 1947 in a small town in Utah, Geary's early life was shaped by simplicity and discipline. There were no early signs of Hollywood glamour, only a steady upbringing grounded in hard work and modest expectations. His father worked in construction, demonstrating resilience through long hours and physical labor. His mother, by contrast, offered emotional warmth and a deeper sensitivity to human behavior. Together, these influences shaped a young boy who observed more than he spoke. He wasn't drawn to attention, nor did he seek recognition in the typical sense. Instead, he developed a quiet curiosity about people, their emotions, their contradictions, their unspoken struggles. This early awareness would later become essential to his acting. Even as a student, he found traditional academics less engaging than creative expression, particularly drama. Acting gave him a space to explore human truth without needing to expose himself directly. It wasn't about applause, it was about understanding. Discovering a calling through performance, Geary's connection to acting wasn't sudden. It grew gradually, rooted in instinct rather than ambition. In school productions, he found a sense of purpose that other subjects failed to offer. The stage became a place where observation could transform into expression. His performances stood out not for showiness, but for emotional authenticity. Teachers recognized this quiet strength, and eventually, he earned a scholarship to study theater. This opportunity marked a turning point. It allowed him to pursue acting not just as an interest, but as a serious craft. For Geary, the appeal of acting was never about fame. It was about stepping into different lives, exploring emotional landscapes, and telling stories that felt real. That mindset would remain constant throughout his career, even as opportunities expanded. Learning through theater discipline before television fame, Geary refined his skills on stage, where there are no second chances. Theater demanded precision, focus, and emotional honesty, qualities that would later define his work. Every performance required presence, and every mistake was visible. This environment shaped him into a disciplined actor who valued preparation and depth. A significant moment came when veteran actor Jack Albertson noticed his potential and invited him to join a touring production. This experience exposed Geary to a broader world and pushed him beyond his comfort zone. It wasn't glamorous, but it was formative. He learned to adapt, to commit fully to each role, and to respect the craft above all else. Early struggles and steady growth. Like many actors, Geary's early television career consisted of small roles and brief appearances. These opportunities didn't bring immediate recognition, but they allowed him to build experience. He approached each role with seriousness regardless of its size. Rather than chasing visibility, he focused on authenticity. Each character became a chance to learn, to experiment, and to refine his approach. Over time, this consistency built a quiet credibility. Industry professionals began to notice his depth, even if audiences had not yet fully discovered him. His journey during these years reflects patience, a willingness to grow gradually rather than seek instant success, the unexpected breakthrough role. In 1978, Geary joined General Hospital as Luke Spencer, a character originally intended to be short-lived. What followed was entirely unexpected. Through Geary's performance, Luke became a central figure, capturing audience attention in a way few characters had before. He brought complexity to the role, balancing charm with vulnerability, confidence with inner conflict. Luke wasn't a traditional hero, and that made him compelling. Viewers responded to this depth, and the character quickly grew beyond initial expectations. A cultural phenomenon emerges. The storyline centered on Luke and Laura became one of the most unforgettable moments in the history of General Hospital, capturing the imagination of millions and redefining what daytime television could achieve. The emotional connection between Anthony Geary and Jeannie Francis brought an authenticity that audiences deeply connected with, making their story feel both dramatic and deeply human. Their wedding episode, watched by more than 30 million viewers, was not just a television event, but a shared cultural experience that united households across the country. For a genre often underestimated, this moment proved its power to reach and move a vast audience. With that success came intense visibility. Geary, who had once worked quietly to build his craft, suddenly found himself widely recognized, his image appearing in magazines and interviews becoming more frequent. Yet, even as the attention grew, he remained cautious. He seemed aware that such rapid fame could blur the line between character and self, and he resisted being fully absorbed by it. Instead of embracing the spotlight entirely, he maintained a sense of distance, quietly observing the phenomenon he had helped create while continuing to focus on the work itself rather than the fame surrounding it. Fame and its complications for Anthony Geary, success did not arrive as a simple reward, but as a layered and often challenging experience. His portrayal of Luke Spencer brought him critical acclaim and multiple awards, including several Daytime Emmy wins, confirming his place among the most respected actors in the genre. Yet, with that recognition came an unexpected constraint. Audiences began to see him almost exclusively through the lens of Luke, making it difficult to separate the man from the character. This kind of fame, while powerful, can quietly limit an artist's ability to explore new roles or express different facets of their talent. Geary understood this dual nature of recognition. On one hand, it validated years of dedication and hard work. On the other, it risked narrowing how he was perceived both professionally and personally. He did not reject the success, but he approached it with thoughtfulness, aware that fame could shape identity in ways that were not always aligned with personal truth. This awareness created a careful balance in his life. He accepted the honors and appreciation that came his way, yet he remained mindful of preserving his individuality beyond the character that had brought him such prominence. A life beyond Hollywood. Over the years, Anthony Geary gradually built a life that extended far beyond the familiar environment of Hollywood. Choosing to spend significant time in Europe, he created a space where he could exist without the constant recognition that came with his role on General Hospital. This shift was not about leaving his career behind, but about redefining how he lived within it. In a different cultural setting, he found the freedom to move through daily life with greater anonymity, something that can be rare for someone so closely associated with a well-known character. Europe offered him a quieter rhythm, one that aligned more closely with his personal values and desire for reflection. Away from the pressures of the entertainment industry, he could focus on simple, meaningful experiences. His relationships remained private, shared only with those he trusted, reinforcing his long-standing preference for authenticity over public display. This choice highlights an important aspect of his character, a willingness to step outside expectations in order to create a life that feels genuine. It reflects a thoughtful approach to success, where fulfillment is measured not by visibility, but by the ability to live freely and honestly. Professional relationships and respect. The professional dynamic between Anthony Geary and Jeannie Francis offers an insightful look into how meaningful work relationships can develop without fitting traditional expectations. While their on-screen chemistry as Luke and Laura captivated audiences of General Hospital, their off-screen connection was more measured and rooted in mutual respect rather than constant closeness. They approached their craft in different ways, which at times created a certain distance, but this difference also contributed to the depth of their performances. Each brought a unique perspective to their roles, allowing their interactions to feel dynamic and authentic. Over time, both actors developed a deeper appreciation for one another's methods and dedication. Their relationship evolved not through dramatic gestures, but through quiet understanding and shared commitment to their work. This kind of professional respect is often less visible, but equally important, as it forms the foundation for collaboration that feels genuine. In many ways, their partnership reflects Geary's broader approach to life, valuing substance over appearance and choosing meaningful connection over superficial. closeness, even within a highly visible industry. Choosing to step away in 2015, Anthony Geary made the thoughtful decision to leave General Hospital, closing a chapter that had defined much of his professional life. Unlike many departures in the entertainment world, his was not marked by dramatic announcements or elaborate farewells. Instead, it was a quiet, deliberate choice that reflected his long-standing approach to both work and life. After decades of portraying Luke Spencer, Geary recognized that the role had reached a natural conclusion for him. The decision was influenced by practical factors, including the physical demands of long-term performance, but it was also deeply philosophical. He believed in the importance of stepping away while the work still held meaning, rather than continuing out of habit or expectation. This perspective requires a strong sense of self-awareness, especially in an industry where letting go can be difficult. By choosing his own moment to exit, Geary maintained control over his narrative, ensuring that his departure aligned with his values. It was not an end defined by external pressures, but one shaped by personal clarity and a desire to move forward on his own terms. A lasting influence on television. The impact of Anthony Geary on daytime television extends far beyond his portrayal of Luke Spencer. Through his work on General Hospital, he helped shift the way characters were written and understood within the genre. Instead of presenting simple heroes or villains, his performance introduced a level of emotional complexity that made characters feel more human and relatable. This approach challenged existing conventions and encouraged writers to explore deeper, more nuanced storytelling. Geary's ability to convey vulnerability alongside strength allowed audiences to see a broader spectrum of human experience within a format often underestimated. His influence can be seen in the evolution of television narratives, where layered characters have become more common across various genres. Beyond technical skill, his work demonstrated the importance of authenticity, showing that even in highly dramatic settings, genuine emotion can resonate powerfully. The recognition he received, including multiple awards, reflects not just individual talent but a broader contribution to the craft. His legacy is carried forward in the performances of others who continue to build on the foundation he helped establish. A quiet life after fame today, Anthony Geary lives a life that stands in gentle contrast to the visibility he once experienced at the height of his career. Having stepped away from General Hospital, he has embraced a quieter, more reflective way of living. His days are no longer shaped by production schedules or public appearances, but by personal interests such as reading, writing, and simply enjoying a slower pace. There is no visible effort to maintain a public presence or revisit past achievements, suggesting a sense of closure and contentment with what he has already accomplished. For many, stepping away from such recognition might feel like a loss, but for Geary, it appears to be a form of freedom. He has chosen to define success not by continued visibility, but by the quality of his everyday life. This decision reflects a deeper understanding of fulfillment, one that values inner peace over external validation. His story offers a thoughtful perspective on what it means to move beyond fame, showing that the most meaningful achievements are not always those seen by others, but those that allow a person to live in alignment with their true self.